It's good to hustle, it's good to always work hard, it's good to be the boss.
Hello and welcome to the season finale of the Coco Times Presents Big Banter with Neha. Today is a very special day because we have a very special guest with us. She needs no introduction. She is someone who has added so many feathers on her cap that the cap isn't even visible anymore and the feathers have become wings for her to fly and to help others fly along. If this was Bollywood, then she would be the SRK of it, a woman entrepreneur made from scratch. Actually, I could keep on talking about her till the end of time, but then let's put me on mute and call one of the kindest, humblest, and the bestest bakers of the other B town, Mrs. Kartika Shravanti from Bakeman Begins. Welcome, ma'am.
Hi Neha, thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much for coming. देखो वो आ गया. It's such a fangirl moment. Please get comfortable. Ma'am, your journey began as an engineer turned baker, and you did not just hustle between two professions. You actually hustled between two cities as well during your initial days. And now, 8 years later, you are a professional chef and a huge brand yourself.
Yeah.
So, please take us through your journey.
Well, as you said, I was working in Bangalore after my college. I got placed in Bangalore in an IT company. But there was something missing that, on a Monday morning you would want to look forward to go to work and you don't want to feel like, oh my god, Monday morning is here. So that's when I decided on a normal lazy weekend, I decided to go to a baking class. And from there on, I just started practicing that at home, and I used to come home sometimes on weekends back to my house in Chennai. So that's when I started practicing cakes, and then when I started giving it to my friends and relatives, I got good response, and something that when you're being appreciated for something, it gives you a good kick and a motivation to do something. So that's when I thought maybe this could be something that I can do for my profession or as a career, because I really loved it. That's how it started, and then I used to travel every weekend to Chennai, and then I used to bake and then bring those cakes back to my office in Bangalore, take orders from Bangalore to Chennai and Chennai to Bangalore, and travel like this. I used to carry like loads and loads of cakes in sleeper buses. I used to barely have a place to sleep in the sleeper bus. So all these kind of nice memories I have, but then I think that's the hustle that's got me here now. So that's in short the journey of my cakes from Bangalore to Chennai.
So, it was a bumpy yet a beautiful journey.
Yes, definitely.
So, how did you feel when you realized that Bakeman Begins is on the map now,
Okay.
and it is getting the recognition that it deserves?
I think it's also a matter of time and luck. Because when I started, there was not much of a competition at that time, and there was really like a handful of bakers around in this city when we started out. And at that time, the competition was way less than what it is right now. So it was also a matter of the time and the timing and luck as well. But then having said that, not only the time and luck will help you out, also the hard work and the efforts that you put in consistently over a period of time, that will take you somewhere. So I think after 8 years, having the market grown so much over the past 6-7 years, that has starting early has kind of helped me have a position somewhere in the market where everybody recognizes it. So that's also one of the main factors for it.
So you have come a long way from being a student to being a teacher.
Yes.
So how was your first class as a teacher? How did the world seem from the other side of the table?
So as a teacher, meaning like the first class I taught?
Yeah, you taught.
Okay, the first class that I taught was quite an experience. I taught kids.
Oh.
So as you all know, like kids will be all over the place and they'll be asking hundreds of questions. Sometimes you'll just be baffled because of the questions they ask, because they ask out of the box questions.
questions.
So that really made me think that I have to be like really strong in my fundamentals and basics before teaching adults or anybody else.
Right.
So that was kind of like a turning point for me to make my skills and my basic knowledge be strong before I teach anybody else. So that was one of my memorable first classes when I taught kids and how to be organized, because kids, as you know, they can't be left alone for even a minute. They
Right.
get distracted.
Especially
They'll start
in the
talking.
kitchen.
Exactly. They'll start talking, they'll do something. So you have to schedule a class such that you have to keep the participants engaged like throughout the class. Time everything accordingly, have everything measured out. All those things I just learned it through that one class with kids. Just by keeping them engaged and things like that. So that was a nice learning experience for me as a first class.
So that was a masterclass for you in teaching.
Yeah, that's right. Taught by kids.
Yeah. You are a commendable teacher, ma'am. I mean, you are a know-it-all person, a person who's just 24/7 there for their students.
Yeah, that's true.
The kind of connect that you have with your students is a very rare quality to find,
Thank you so much.
Speaking out of personal experience. So, what is that one special moment that you had as a teacher with a student or any
One
class?
special moment is always when the students go back and practice whatever I taught, and establishing themselves and being successful. That's the real success for me as well, when they also succeed after what I've taught them. Somewhere if I've helped them along in their journey, that's the best part for me.
I think there's a different kind of bliss in being a teacher.
Yes, that's true.
So, ma'am, as you stated, you started in 2012 when there were very few bakers.
Yes.
And in fact, you were the one who brought this wave of fondant cakes, theme cakes, and with a wide array of flavors.
Yes.
But now, if we begin to count, we may run out of numbers. There are so many bakers
That's
out
right.
there.
Yeah.
So, what are the market changes and constants that has happened over time?
Constant thing is no matter how many bakers are there, everybody will have work. That is a constant thing. And one more constant thing is where the work is good, you'll have business. Not
Right.
now or later, but consistently if you keep working, eventually you will have business. That's something constant in the market. Good work gets recognized sometime now or later. Market that's changed in a lot of ways. Obviously, you have a lot of trends that keep going in and out.
Right.
But one thing that is stuck again, a constant thing that is stuck from the starting to till now is the concept of customizing something for their occasion. So that is what people look for in home bakers, or people like us, which bakeries do not offer.
Right.
Something that's customized to their occasion. That is something that's there. Otherwise, market keeps changing a lot. Like design wise, a lot of trends keep going in and out. A lot of flavors keep going in and out. All of those things. And one more thing is, recently, like people are more aware of the designs or the trends in the market. Their expectations that were there few years
Before.
back was very less. So whatever we did used to make them happy. But these days expectation is high, so the pressure on us is also very high. So the performance pressure is very high on the bakers, because people are very aware of the things that are there. They give us reference from Russian bakers, from Instagram handles that we keep seeing, trends that we haven't tried out. So all these things are people are more aware, and there's more performance pressure, because a lot of people do and they expect the same results when they give an order to a baker. That is something that's changed. The expectation of people that was there few years back and now.
Now.
Yeah.
But competition wise, there's place for everyone.
There is definitely place for everybody.
Because
Population is very high, so so everybody obviously wants a cake, even if it's like a lower middle class family or a middle class family or upper class family. Everybody wants to have a cake for birthday or any special occasion. So everyone does need a cake. So I think there are enough bakers and more. Even if the baker community expands even further, I think there'll be work for everybody.
yeah, because I mean, a flower, this is what I read yesterday, that a
Yeah.
flower next to it does not compete with the flower
Yes,
next to it, it
that's
just
true.
blooms.
That's true. That is true.
Ma'am, there's a saying that choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day. Would you say this is true and practically possible?
I wouldn't agree to this, because Yeah, I mean, you love to do the job, but then at the end of the day, you have to work hard.
Right.
Maybe it won't feel so burdenous on you, but you will have to work hard. Maybe you love what you do, you love to hustle, but at least whatever you do, whether it's a success or a failure, will be your own. So yeah, that way I think that one part of the saying is right and one part of the saying is
So there's
just
pros and
interpret it in a different way.
right.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons attached to everything, and you have been candid about both of them, be it anything, especially the how you have grown over time and especially evolved during the lockdown.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the pre-lockdown first.
Okay.
You transitioned from being a non-vegetarian to
Yes.
vegetarian to
Yes.
vegetarian
Yes.
and then vegan.
Yes, that's true.
So why did you choose vegan over the other three?
Vegan, not so much now. I've given up on eggs and I've given up on milk and milk products. Sometimes I do have curd. Curd is my weak point sometimes. But I try to avoid as much as possible. So I can say 80-85% of the time I eat vegan. Otherwise, vegetarian I eat. But yeah, I mean, this path of transitioning from non-vegetarian to vegetarian is because you become aware of a lot of things behind what happens in dairy industry and poultry and stuff like that. But apart from that, a little bit into spirituality, you will get to know the energy behind what foods you eat, what you put into your body, and things like that. These are things that a lot of religion and culture already know and already inculcate. But when you are told something from your childhood, you kind of follow it until you come to an age where you can think for yourself. Yeah. So that was that point for me when this lockdown happened. I had time to sit and think about what I eat, to take care of myself basically, and to what foods to feed myself and things like. So that's when I just took a call to go away from non-vegetarian and become vegetarian and vegan.
So I think when you state that you are a vegan in your stories, I think one question everybody ponders upon is, do you not taste the luscious looking non-vegan desserts that you make?
Yeah, that's the only disadvantage I have, because I have to taste what I do. But yeah, having said that, if somebody is vegan, there is and once you announce, especially on social media, you have this pressure of conforming to what you have already promised to be. But I think that I already mentioned it in my thing also, that my profession and personal life is different, and what I have to do in my profession I have to do, and what I put inside my body as on a daily basis, regular basis, I'll keep it vegan. And things that I have to do as a job, since it's my job, I have to do that. So it's okay. I mean, even if somebody can become or give up eggs or non-vegetarian for at least 50% of their diet, it makes a change. Whatever.
Right.
It's just the small steps that matter. So we want more people to take small steps rather than everybody taking big steps. So that's what matters. So just that intention and trying to do something, even if it's a small step, I think that's enough. So having said that, I don't think I can do away with tasting my thing. I have to do that because it's my job. But I keep my regular meals just vegetarian and vegan. Yeah.
So yeah, small changes do make a difference.
Yeah.
So ma'am, talking about the lockdown involvement, we all have seen you connect with nature, foster animals, and you started gardening, you did spiritual practices like yoga, meditation, and fixed a shorter work schedule, and are slowly heading towards retirement.
Yeah.
So what
I'm not that old, but yeah.
No, slowly, there's time yet. We don't even want you to retire, obviously.
Yeah. I don't see myself totally retiring. At least, not having the pressure to meet deadlines sometimes.
Right.
I'd like that. That's the thing. Yeah.
So, what are the positive takeaways that you would like the world to know from your spiritual growth and involvement?
I think main thing is because of the lockdown, I had time to do nothing. Sometimes it's nice to do nothing. And what we've been told is it's good to hustle, it's good to always work hard, it's good to be the boss and things like that. Yeah, it is good to do that, but it's also important to focus on yourself, because because I had the time to pause and reflect on a few things. I could come up with new ideas. I could come up with things where I can work less and make more money. Right. So that's when I came up with doing less amount of work, but the same amount of work, but in lesser time. So we used to work from like 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening. But we do the same work now, but in lesser time. So we just optimize things like that, and you do lose out on a few businesses because of the timing and things like that. But then it gives you the rest that your body needs. That is something that my body taught me, because since you keep running for years and years, there'll be a point where your body gives up, and you can't sustainably do it over a period of time. So for that, I had to slow down, because I had like spinal cord issues and things like that. So I had to slow down. Now I'm fine. So I think slow and steady. There's like the proverb, slow and steady wins the race. A lot of us just take proverbs very lightly, but I think there's very like heavy weightage to what they say. I think that's true. Whatever you slow and steady, and you focus on yourself, then you come up with new ideas and new talents that you can recognize about yourself, which can bring you more money eventually. So these things, these are things that I realized. And then I started practicing it. And dogs, I think I like dogs like from my childhood, but my dad didn't, so I never had a dog when I was at my mom's place. So then when I got married, I just grabbed the opportunity to get
So you're married for dogs?
Kind of. My husband also doesn't like dogs.
Oh.
But now he's kind of slowly getting used to it, so it's fine.
So ma'am, do you realize that you are an influencer and that people vibe with you and look up to you for anything that they require? Mental support. So how do you feel about that?
I feel good, but I also feel responsible for what content I put out on Instagram, which is why I've cut out a lot of nonsense I used to post before. Now I just do very limited stories, which is more positive and avoid ranting and things like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you are trying to be more positive
Yeah.
towards everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so ma'am, you have quit your IT job to pursue baking.
Yeah.
So would you say that the level of financial security that is provided by any other profession is
Okay.
also done by baking?
It depends on where you are in your professional career. So if you're somebody in a very high position and then you want to just switch careers and start with baking, then you may have
Difficulty.
you may have difficulty, because you would have gotten paid very well. But for me, I think I was just starting. I was a college graduate and had just started out. So for me, I think it was okay to kind of just get adjusted. I didn't have much financial pressures, because that time I had no commitments, was not married, no loans, nothing like that. So it was fine for me. But if you have financial pressures, then it's good to think twice and pursue your professional career also, and baking also on one side. Take it along as much as possible, and then when you feel comfortable, it's good to make a switch. Otherwise, what happens is, if you have too much financial pressure, then your passion dies, because you always are in a pressure to make money. So that kills your creativity.
Right.
So I think that's very important, to not have any financial pressure in order to start something new, creative.
So proper planning
Yeah.
is required.
Yeah. Possibly family support. Because
Yeah, that's
about
of
money
utmost
from
importance.
Yeah. That's
So ma'am, thank you so much for such an enlightening conversation. We have all learned, we have been learning from you, and we have learned it today again.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, and let me take this moment to thank you enough, because without you, I don't think this show would have been possible. 1 year from you gave a kickstart to the journey of this show, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for calling me.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to the rapid fire segment now.
Sure.
Welcome to the finale's rapid fire round, and so we'll begin. But ma'am, before that, there are 2 rules to this round, which you will tell me.
Okay.
So fill in the blanks. Dash is the best policy.
Honesty.
Yeah. Be dash or be last.
Be smart.
You can be fast also.
Okay, yeah. Be fast or be last.
So once she said right, so
Yeah.
chalna kutti. So we'll begin with the questions.
Okay, done.
So one baking tool or equipment you wish existed.
Icing machine.
If one day you woke up as a guy, what would you do?
I do the normal baking. Everything be normal as it is.
That's great to hear. If you could disinvent one thing, what would it be?
Figurines. I'll tell in terms of cakes. Okay. Yeah, I hate making figurines.
I understand. I can't even make one round properly. So, a chef you'd like to work with next.
Chef Johan Martin. He's really nice.
Your weirdest habit is.
I think all bakers have this habit of snacking as they keep working on the cake.
It's not even weird
It's
anymore.
not weird anymore, yeah.
One thing that people don't know about you.
I'm very messy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that, so yeah. If you could time travel, what period would you go to?
I'll go to my childhood days before 5th standard. Yeah. That was the most fun part.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Writing messages on the cake.
Same. So, favorite pizza topping?
Pizza topping be onions. Very simple.
3 things you can't live without.
Food. Mobile. Oh my god, that's bad, but yeah, mobile. And fresh hair. I think my terrace, I want to go to my terrace every single day.
What I heard was fresh hair, and I was thinking for a second.
Yeah.
So, would you rather
Yeah.
have a rewind button to your life or a pause button to your life?
Rewind. Rewind.
Live on the banks of a river or
Okay.
tree house?
Tree house.
Give up music for life or give up movies for life?
Give up movies for life.
One question people should stop asking you.
Discounts. Will there be any discounts on this?
So if you're listening, please stop that.
No one's gonna stop that, Neha. Come on. We ourselves ask for discount everywhere.
Hard truth. Chef Kartika's recipe of life.
Do what makes you happy.
That's it. Simple.
Simple. Yeah.
So that was an end to our season finale's rapid fire round. Let's head to the game round now. Welcome to the game round, guys. Today's game is called Dumb Charades. It's a classic game, so it needs no introduction, no details. But the one who guesses the most wins, and the loser gets this label on their forehead with something written by the winner, and they have to post a story on the Instagram. So we will begin, but just a heads up, ma'am, that I have lost all the 4 games
Okay.
as of now, and it's not like the opponent is Mumbai Indians, so that I can blame it on on Mukesh uncle.
Okay.
So that is also there.
Done.
So we'll begin.
Yeah.
So who goes first? We'll do
So-
stone, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Okay. Stone, paper, scissors. Twin.
Fine. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I win in stone, paper, scissors. But what I have to win, that I don't.
Sad.
Okay, so I'll
So
go
I have
first.
to guess.
Yeah,
What is this? Like random things?
yeah, random words.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So ready?
Yeah. Dive. Oh. Sip. Coffee. Coffee. Tea. Okay, one word split into 2. Okay. First split. Okay. Sip. What the hell is this? Hookah. Tea, coffee. Steam.
Pass.
Okay, next. Whistle. Hockey. Goal. 6. Umpire. Batsman. Bowler. Wicket keeper. Player. What's this? Okay, next. Come on. I don't want to lose this. Okay. Butter. Okay. Alcohol. Rum. Whiskey. Wine. Vodka. Some kind of butter beer. No. Butterscotch. Yes. Okay, call. What the hell is... Okay, call. Phone. Okay. Muscle. Strong. Carl Strong. Oh, it's... What?
Okay, pass.
Start.
Bird. Bird drinking. Kingfisher. Video game. Texting. Phone. Angry. Sad. Emotions. Emojis. Skipping. One more to go. Hair straightening. Hair dryer. Face. Book. Array. Easy. Blue. Teeth. Bluetooth.
Come on, Neha.
Full season का game I'm winning today. Photo frame.
I'm good at this.
Right. Door. Blue. Washing machine.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pass that.
I won.
Come on. Good. Finally you won.
So what do I write?
That's up to you. I know that you won't write anything embarrassing, so. But it's okay. Even if you do, I'll post it on my Instagram. That's nice. I picked all easy.
Yeah, so
nice,
what did you skip?
Katrina Kaif.
Oh.
I didn't know what to do for Katrina. And yeah, something else also I skipped. Washing machine you did.
I think you're a good actor.
Yeah. Kingfisher, that was a good guess. Smoothie.
Oh,
Smoothie was the
okay.
nice one. Hair dryer is done. Emoji you found out. Yeah. Who wrote all these? I mean, it's not you, right? So, I thought you knew beforehand. Horse.
I
Horse,
wish
I
I wish I had. I would have done.
Yeah. You can't make noises, no?
Yeah. So,
And give a cut, okay? Don't stick it to the wall.
yeah. So finally, I get to win one game.
It's okay, I sacrificed for you, Neha.
One moment of happiness, she took it away.
It's okay.
So where do you want me to stick it?
Yeah, on my face is fine.
She's so sporty.
Yeah.
So I've written twinkle twinkle little star is me.
This is very. You should have written some embarrassing stuff. Anyway, we'll
It's
take a
okay.
selfie.
Yeah. So guys, now that the game round is done, we have come to the end of the season 1 of the Coco Times Presents Bake Banter with Neha. And ma'am, we do have something special for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've been having my eye on these things on Instagram, but thank you so much.
Thank you ma'am, thank you so much for coming. I think today I have added one feather on my cap. I take so much pride when I say that I'm your student.
Thank you so much. I saw these and I was like so touched, and I wish I wore something nice on that day or some makeup. But anyway, I was so happy to see you again.
Thank you ma'am, thank you so much for gracing the show, embracing the show. It's an out of the world feeling.
Thank you so much.
And you guys do follow Bakeman Begins. You obviously do follow, I know. And also follow the Coco Times for some exclusive handcrafted chocolates. And stay tuned for more upcoming short fun videos. And do like, share, follow and subscribe. And in the comment section, let us know what do you love the most about Kartika ma'am. And who are the other bakers you would love to see on this show. So thank you so much for staying around. I'll see you guys with more fun videos. Bye.
Bye bye.